Hey everybody, Adam here, and it's a little bit of a new one. Well, new to the channel, not so much new for me. So tonight we're going to play a little Pauper, and we're going to play one of my favorite Pauper decks, Bogles. So to anybody who knows me outside the stream, they know that I used to maintain a pretty vast Pauper collection, and used to play the format regularly. Kind of fell off for a little while for various reasons, but tonight I decided we're gonna try it out a little bit. Bogles has always been one of my favorite decks in the format. If you're not familiar with the concept of Bogles, so the deck itself is named for this card, Slippery Bogle. It is a 1/1 for 1 with hexproof. So the notion is that you play a Bogle, you play a excuse me, you play a Bogle, and then you strap it up with a bunch of enchantments, and you beat your opponent to death, and they can't remove it because they are incapable of pointing removal spells at it. So, then you have a series of enchantments. One of the most important ones is Cartouche of Solidarity. The reason Cartouche of Solidarity is so important is because the best way to beat Bogles is to cause it to sacrifice creatures. So in Modern, this is done through things like Lilion of the Veil and what have you. In Pauper, things just like Chainer's Edict, or a Diabolic Edict, or any target player sacrifices a creature. So, Cartouche of Solidarity, when it enters the battlefield, makes a 1/1. This is important because it kind of insulates you a little bit from the Edict effects, which is great. So, to kind of cover some of the rest of the deck here, Solana Ledgewalker is a 2-mana 1/1 that can only be blocked by creatures with flying and also has hexproof. You have Heliod's Pilgrim, which is going to tutor up an aura, so whatever kind of thing we might need at that moment, we can find it with Heliod's Pilgrim. Abundant Growth is going to fix our mana and cantrip. Ethereal Armor scales up for the number of enchantments we have, and also gives First Strike. Rancor, kind of a classic, +2/+0, and Trample. When Rancor is put in the graveyard from anywhere, get it back from the battlefield, put it back in your hand. Utopia Sprawl, a little bit of ramp, helps us kind of start to really accelerate so we can build up a monster pretty quickly. Ancestral Mask. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 for each other enchantment in play. Note, this is symmetrical. This counts every enchantment. That is important. Armadillo Cloak. Target creature gets +2/+2 in Trample, and has an effect that looks a lot like Lifelink, but is not Lifelink. It is a triggered ability that happens on combat damage. So, important to note there. Cartouche of Solidarity, 1/1, also gives First Strike, I believe, and creates the creature. You have Thriving Grove. So this is a land that enters the battlefield tapped, produces green, or another mana color chosen when you play Thriving Grove. Then you have 2 Arctic Treeline, which is the artifact dual land, if you will, from Modern Horizons. And you have a bunch of basics. Cave of Temptation. So this is a colorless land. You can filter mana through it to make mana of any color, or pay 4 mana, tap, and sacrifice it to put 2+1/+1 counters on something, only at sorcery speed. Finally, you have Ram Through. So this is a one-sided fight card. So your creature deals damage to their creature, but if your creature has trample, the rest of the damage tramples over. This is important because we have multiple effects that give our creatures trample. Finally, in the sideboard, we have a bunch of answers to various things. So we have some gut shots. Those are going to kind of clean up various X1 things that might be problematic for us. Get some early aggression out of the way, maybe. Natural State, if someone else has some sort of enchantment that is problematic, for example, a Circle of Protection. Get it out of here. Lifelink. Somebody is faster than we are, we need to gain a little more life, say burn, bring in Lifelink. Flaring Pain. Damage can't be prevented, so this is going to get around fog-style effects. Things like Tron that might try to fog us. We're going to be done with Flaring Pain. The Standard Bearer, and what this is going to do is Standard Bearer is a way to insulate ourselves, primarily because it is often common that other decks will play effects like this to beat us. The way that Standard Bearer works is if a spell or ability can target Standard Bearer, it must. So if other people bring these in against us, then we board it in as kind of okay, one of my idiots still gets big, let's go. Finally, Young Wolf. This is just a creature that if our opponent is on, say, Pestilence or something, that's going to constantly clear the board repetitively, we can board in Young Wolf as a way to kind of rebuild thereafter. So, that is the deck. Again, this was a first place challenge list from Subasa Cat from last week. So this is about where I decided to start. I've been out of format a little while, so I figured it was worth going to somebody who knows what they're doing. And without further ado, let's kick this pig. So, I appreciate everyone coming out to spend your Tuesday evening with me. There are plenty of ways you could choose to spend your Tuesday evening, but I'm grateful that you chose to spend it with me. So for those of you that follow the stream regularly, tonight would usually be the spot where we play Legacy. You can try working some other stuff in here, so tonight we're going to play some Pauper. Next week we'll see. Thursday, which will be the next stream, is going to be another round of Vintage Cube, and one could say things might get a little spicy for Thursday's Vintage Cube stream. This has been sitting around on my desk for a hot minute, waiting for an excuse, and why not do a one-chip challenge Vintage Cube League? That sounds exciting, so that'll be Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard. And finally, Saturday's 1 p.m. stream will be some more Vintage. Deck TBD. Probably either Oath or Blue Tinker. Both of those feel like a lot of fun right now. I've been really enjoying them, so that's probably where we're going to be. But yeah, ooh, there's our match. 100% playing first. Ramp spell. Ledgewalker. Got it. I like it. We do need some more enchantments eventually, but we'll get there. This feels like a reasonable enough hand. This ram through is of questionable value, but is probably fine. We're gonna name white with this one. Sick. Play this Arctic Tree Line. Cast this Ledgewalker. You got the Edict? They don't. It's a Zikr Wellspring, so this is Affinity. So more than likely they're just going to try to race us. Put a mask on it. Clock for 3. Eventually we're going to want to try to find a lifelink. Some kind of enchantment that gives us life. Oh, opponent is just conceding. That feels great. So I do want these natural states. Probably want lifelink. Ram through feels okay, but not incredible. I think I'm gonna shave the 3 ram through and probably Pilgrim? Probably Pilgrim. Could be convinced otherwise, but I feel like it's Pilgrim. So worth mentioning here, natural state gonna do work. I mean, this is slow. This might be too slow. If I can find a basic forest somewhere along this way, I'll be really happy about it. Mountain Star. Okay. Name White off Thriving Grove. Ooh. Okay. I think I'm just gonna natural state this land, I'm not kidding. Like, I feel like we're in a reasonable enough spot where I can just... Oh. Did I? Oh, right. That's indestructible. I forget that these are indestructible for no apparent reason. Alright. This is where things are going to get a little problematic, but not... Okay, Thoughtcast. That's fine. Alright. Bogle. Abundant Growth. I want to draw another land drop here. That ain't it, but that's a pretty decent one. So this next one's just going to be a Rancor and Ethereal Armor on Bogle. If we still have a Bogle. The way that I played this... Black-red. Okay. The way that I played this, we might actually lose this Bogle here for absolutely no reason at all. Yep, that's fine. Opponent just wants to draw some cards. I'm into it. Ooh. That's not what I expected at all. This one. I will attack you with a 6/4. I really would love to find an additional land here. One land would be excellent because one land is going to get me Armadillo Cloak and Ancestral Mask the following turn. Yep. Yeah, and so the big reason, I forgot that these, for some reason, were indestructible because the original cycle of Artifact lands is not. Attack with Prospector? Seems entirely free. Mad respect if you don't, opponent, because, like, wow, that seems... I'm on cam. Alright. Yeah, like, if opponent doesn't attack with this, that seems very strange. Because it's functionally free. Like, they know I can't block. And, like, they're gonna get got by Gut Shot one way or another. Like, it being tapped has no impact on whether or not Gut Shot is a good Magic card here. So, not entirely sure what the plan is. Why opponent's thinking so long about this attack. It's going to be... okay. We're just fine. Ooh. I'm going to play this now. If opponent does have some nature of Edict effect, I'm going to be grateful that I have this Slippery Bogle. Yep. Opponent is cantripping, trying to find in some way to come back from this, by the looks of it. They cracked a star, made blue, cracked another one, made blue again. Goblin Matron, sure. I'm missing some... Okay, Putrid Goblin. I mean, that... Yeah? This does have Trample. Red. Okay. Yes. First day of class. Excuse me? Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1 counter on. Okay. So this is some nature of weird combo. Put a 1 counter against haste until end of turn. Sure. I'm just going to F6. That's a Matron. Okay. What does Flame Wave Invoker do? 5 damage target. Okay. So they generate infinite mana. Got it. I understand. Okay. So that was an infinite mana loop. And a thing that I was not aware of. Okay. So I've now determined that I've boarded incorrectly. I'm gonna cut natural states. Probably gonna cut this lifelink too. I think I just want gut shots. I need to be able to disrupt their combo? Gut. I'm gonna board in some of these ram throughs too, I think. What else? No, it's just supposed to be gut shot. I think that's the thing that matters. I just need to kill. This is exceptionally slow. This doesn't have a creature. Yikes. I mean, I feel like I'm priced into this one. I'm gonna get rid of Ledgewalker and the redundant ethereal armor, I think. Yeah, I think I'm getting rid of ethereal armor Ledgewalker. I'm gonna keep this Armadillo Cloak because I think it matters. Maybe I'm crazy, maybe it doesn't matter. Nope. This one. Okay. Star's fine. Crack for red, yep. Shaman, yes. This is unfortunate. Okay. That's fine. Cantrip. That Crook Clan Shaman is going to be, like, kind of annoying. And I could have played around it. Oh, but opponents don't read themselves out. That's pretty hot. Okay. I just need to draw a creature and we're golden. That's frustrating. So now I need a gut shot before we can do anything. Thoughtcast is fine. Well, we're gonna draw every Ancestral Mask. Prospector's fine. Okay. Okay. Opponent is infinite here. Which is never a thing I thought I would say in Pauper, but like, here we are. That's Matron. Matron goes and finds the Invoker. Yikes. Okay. Well, punished a little bit by inexperience there. I was not aware of that loop with Invoker. I probably could have had a better chance in game 2 knowing that that was a thing, but that's okay. Yeah, for anybody who follows the stream but does not follow me personally as a player, I played a lot of Pauper up through Blue Monday, and then quit the format. I guess not quit the format, slowed down on the amount of Pauper I played after Blue Monday, and then with the whole Astrolabe Jeskai thing, started to fall out a little bit more. I mean, I guess. This is just gonna name green. I have an undisruptible white source in hand. So after the Astrolabe Jeskai nonsense, I kind of slowed down on how much of the format I was playing quite a lot. Well, that's about the greatest thing on the planet. This one. This one. This one. I present 4 power on turn 2. Each opponent discards a card. That is fine. I accept. Okay. Mask. Beep beep. There was zero reason for opponent to take 6 there. This does not have trample yet. Although I feel strong like opponent is on some sort of like pestilence, Kamiya false hope style. Some sort of like rat-esque shenanigans. To that end, rat-esque shenanigans. I think I want Young Wolf. I think I'll cut Pilgrim. Cut one Ancestral Mask because that seems like kind of an ask. And cut a Ram through? Yeah. I accept. You want Mask or Abundant Growth? I figured that would be the case. I'm quite likely to just jam this Ledgewalker next turn because I want to be insulated from Edict. JK. That feels great. Still think I'm jamming Ledgewalker here. If opponent just untaps into Edict, I'll feel bad. Like, opponent could have some sort of, like, -X sweeper. Yeah, you got it. Alright, this one. I had a cantrip anyway. Gross. Just gonna draw all the bodies. Get completely and totally ranged by a pestilence. Zealot, yup. Ephemerate would also be problematic here. Yikes. This one's free. Okay. I just need to start drawing enchantments. Each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Yes. I feel like my opponent's deck contains the card Ephemerate, which I was already pretty confident of. Oh my. This is too many lands. I have more than enough mana to operate. Please start giving me spells. Just please. Spells. Barrenmore. Got it. 5 mana. Gary. Yes. Sneaking suspicion that opponent ephemerates next turn. Targeting Gary. Just throwing that out there. Got it. 5 mana. Another Gary. You got it. Show me the ephemerate. Got it. Okay. Now looking at Standard Bearer like it's a real Magic card. If opponent's whole deck is going to be based around Ephemerate, I think that that's a very good world for me to live in. Now. So I'm going to shave a Young Wolf here. I'm also up creatures, so I think I'm going to shave a Cartouche. I think I have enough bodies. Run it back like this. I will keep. Turn 1 Bogle. Reasonable. This turn I'm going to play Soul on a Ledgewalker. Just to insulate myself if opponent untaps into Edict. And then we're going to start putting pants on this Ledgewalker. That's pretty great. Don't hate that at all. Alright. Rancor. Armor. Attack for 5. Next turn I'm going to play second Ledgewalker unless I'm given a reason not to. Good at this game. Play another Ledgewalker. Play this card. It's going to be a hot minute before opponent can flash this back. This is also going to help insulate me against Ephemerate. Got it. It's gone. I'm sure you have 97 edicts. I'm just going to keep drawing bodies. You have to have 2 more. Got it. Opponent, I have bad news. I believe that you have lost the game. Target creature you control to deal damage. This one. This one. Beep beep. I agree. Sweet! 1-1 now. Yeah, when your opponent starts playing a bunch of ETB creatures in black-white, you basically almost always assume that they're on some sort of, like, Ratlock style deck. At least I do. Sprawl. Pilgrim. Keep. Yeah, this feels fun. Opponent is on either Jeskai or Boros, which feels fine. Name white. Okay. I would love to. I think I'm gonna grab... I'm just gonna grab a mask here, honestly. You are allowed to cycle Ash Barons, that is fine. Basic planes. So opponent is probably on Bully. This is Bully is or Boros is actually one of my other favorite decks in the format. This one. This one. This one. Reasonable. Electrickery main is some hotness. Hawk, sure. Reasonable. I've built a 9/7. You have another thing. Got it. Cloak. Attack for a whole bunch. Like, opponent can assuredly gain a bunch of life here. Strands. You got it. Yep. Alright. Got it. Hawk, yup. So this is one of the matchup. This is the match where like the Flaring Pain is very, very good, because the ability to shut off cards like Prismatic Strands is excellent. This is also a matchup where you want to go tall, not wide. I will assuredly make opponent do the thing. Deal. Yup. Prevent all the damage from my Glade Cover Scout. Yes. Opponent takes 1. Alright, opponent's at 27. 5 mana. Hawk. Why float everything there? I don't quite understand. Oh, Battle Screech. Sure. Screech is fine. Screech again. Yup. Okay. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. I can put this in front of here because it's basically free to do so. Abundant growth.
We got a new song that kind of is self-titled song, and I think it
Kill you?
best when it can be anything that you love. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing.
I guess not kill you. Put you to 1. Go to 42. Games like this are so swingy. Well, opponent's done with me. Definitely want Flaring Pain. Opponent is gonna have sweeper effects, so I probably want Young Wolf as well. I can cut Cartouche Solidarity. Opponent's not gonna be on Edicts. Cut probably Pilgrim. No, probably need Ram through because they're probably bringing in Standard Bearer. So Shava Heliod's Pilgrim. Am I supposed to board in more gut shots here, assuming they're boarding in Standard Bearer? They could also board in the 4 mana version, which doesn't die to the thing, which would be unfortunate. I like Mask in this matchup because it allows me to go tall quickly. I need a lot of the 1-drops. I'm gonna shave 1 Ram through, I think. I mean, this is the kind of hand I want. I'm gonna keep it. Looting, sure. Cave is gonna fix my red problems when I need it to, so I'm gonna use... Wow. This is gonna name white. Oh, wow. It looks like opponent really kept a land-light hand based on these Faithless Lootings. They pitched a Guardian of the Guild Pact, which is like actually really good in this matchup. Oh, this feels pretty great, actually. Alright. So I'm going to... Bogle, armor.
Alright guys, this song's called Crown
Go.
Lights.
I do have to watch out for Patriarch's Scorn.
It'd be cool.
Whatever the white card is that allows them to blow up all my enchantments with Reckless Abandon. Oh, that feels like gas. Use that to cantrip. Okay. Rancor my Bogle.
I got a feeling everything's gonna go downhill, and it's gonna go fast. So
You have the thing?
I start a picture in the prom.
I just talked about it. You got it?
Someone else's greener grass. You see, the wind was blowing like 1,000 angels. They got something to say. And then it
His opponent trying to, like... You can just strands this.
went down on
Crack clue. Okay, you're just gonna take 7. Like, I think that's fine here. Like, they have a strands at the ready when they need it. Screech, yes. Screech again.
You see, it's gonna start
Deal.
raining now, and there ain't nothing much we can do. So I'ma go my way, and you can go about yours, and do whatever with whatever
Cloak.
you think is true. You see, I've been where the demons walking, and I've listened to the spirit talk, and you ain't nothing like me, and I sure ain't.
Tap it, strands. Name green.
Well, it gets cold when you have
Reasonable.
a long way home.
That's what I would do in the situation. Ooh. Yikes. Yeah, so this is it. Patrician Scorn. If you cast another white spell, pay up, pay its mana cost, destroy all enchantments. And that really kind of set me back to the Stone Age. Now I'm like hard, no acceleration. It's going to be Ledgewalker next turn, into. So that really hurts a lot. The fact that they had both the fog effect and Patrician Scorn was kind of savage.
And it sure went fast. So
But now they've blown one of each, which is actually pretty good for me.
I went walking away from the past, and that demon sitting on my shoulder still talks to me now and then.
Funny enough, usually the burn spell decks are pretty bad against Bogles. This is one of the better ones because they have a lot of spells that go wide. Electrickery and things of that nature. Okay. Red, crack clue, draw a card. Play Garrison, return a mountain. This electrickery is gonna hurt so bad.
Troubles come and go, and they're gone for now.
Cloak. Yep, there it is. That hurts. Knew it was coming, but didn't really have a way to play around it. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Yup, that'll do it. Big yikes. Okay. Thinking about this, not really a way I can beat Patrician Scorn basically ever. Cartouche doesn't really help me out at all. I think I'm fine. Alright. Yikes. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna ship Tree Line. It's gonna name White because I'm gonna need it eventually. Great. This one I think I'm gonna name Red with. Inspector's fine. Double Inspector, you got it. Play a Glade Cover Scout. Put a Rancor on this Young Wolf. Crack for 3. Blocking is actually kind of bad for them. Hawk is fine. They grabbed all 3 Hawks automatically. Oh, because they're going to looting. Sure. Give yourself extra discard fodder. You get to crack with Raven Inspector. I don't mind. Crack for 5. We stompy now. Yup. I mean, that's on you, friend. Like, I feel like you play the card Squadron Hawk because you're willing to throw them away. But at the same point, like, I'm just on this Young Wolf plan now. If you blow up this Young Wolf, I'm just gonna get more power. So you need to Electrickery and have removal spells up for thereafter. You have a Hawk. I know you don't have any more Hawks in your deck. Got it. Make it big. Got it. Cloak is gone, which is fine. I mean, if you're into giving me a 2-2, I'm about it. I've shown you that I'm on the clock queue plan. I could use another land here at some point, and I do need some gas. It's kind of shocking to me that the card Lightning Bolt is still in my opponent's deck. That card is pretty bad in the matchup. That's fine. You have flown in for one. I accept. I am gonna diversify here. Yep. I mean, opponent turned my Young Wolves into board wipes, which is pretty rad. That good? Sick. Yeah, I'm gonna hold back. I really just want to draw one land and then like triple Rancor. Okay. You have revoked existence. The game plan has changed. I will not. Flashback looting. Got it. Opponent just had a bunch of extra lands. That's gas. Block for 3. I'm very interested in trading off this Young Wolf for Lone Missionary next turn. Or if they attack with Lone Missionary. Nope, they're just gonna fly over. That's fine. How many bolts you got? Show them to me. No blast for Metalcraft. No Metalcraft for Galvanic Blast. Okay. I mean, that one doesn't really do anything, so... Now we're just gonna go and... crash for a bunch of damage. I mean, we're dead. We're dead to their flyers. Yeah, we're just dead. Gross. Yeah. That one I'm not sure. Like, the fact that opponent had Lightning Bolt in after... in game 3 feels real weird. That doesn't feel like a thing that's a normal decision-making process. But so opponent still had Lightning Bolt in, which I did not expect at all. That card usually comes out pretty quickly. Opponent also kind of got a little lucky in the fact that the number one enchantment I drew all game was Rancor, which is the one that doesn't increase toughness like literally at all. There were multiple turns where opponent was tapped out and I could have slammed like an enchantment to start clocking for real damage. Alright. One the die roll. That seems bad. This seems better. I think I'm gonna ship Cave. Yeah, ship Cave. Should probably play my land first. Bogle. 1 mana Edict, pretty uncommon. Create a blood, sack it, target cards from your graveyard to hand. Okay, sure. Ooh. That's gonna name white. Slam this. Clock here. Opponent slams a Frog Knight, sure. Okay. This is kind of annoying. Name white with that one. I will Ethereal Armor. Crash for 3. If your affinity deck has an instant speed pump spell, kudos, I guess. Yeah, last seen 6 days ago playing Affinity. Okay. One's gonna draw some cards. Alright. Lands. Wellspring, yup. Terrarian, sure. I accept. So what's funny here is that off of 2 lands, I can produce 4 mana and have exactly almost any combination of colors I possibly desire. That's the game I got flooded real hard. That's why that was such a problem. Was that it, like, this deck can operate on very few lands because of cards like Utopia Sprawl and because a lot of its spells are really cheap. So unfortunately, when we got flooded out, Disciple of the Vault. Uh-oh. How bad is this? Yup. Yup. Draw a card. Frog Knight, sure. ATOG, yup. I need this to have, like, the card I want to draw right now more than anything on the planet is exactly Armadillo Cloak. Yep. Cloak. That is not Armadillo Cloak. I, however, suppose that it will have to do. Two, 4, 6, 8. I'm not gonna think of this too much. If opponent wants to sack the vast majority of their board state to this ATOG to eat this Slippery Bogle, I feel like I'm in a pretty good shape. Like, opponent's gonna drain me for a bunch because of Disciple Vault by doing it. They're not even gonna bother. I like it. "100% promise. This warrior is gonna stand right in front of this ATOG. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. If it's a vampire, it gains lifelink." Okay, well that's unfortunate. That's very bad. Sack this target ATOG. Sack board state to ATOG, win game. Big yikes. Star, sure. Pretty sure I'm dead. Activates Wedding Invitation targeting ATOG. "100% promise I'll do that." Yup. 7, 9, 11. Yup. Gross. Okay, back to want natural state. Interested in lifelink. Not so much interested in Pilgrim. Shave a mask. Cut cartouche? Cut 2 cartouche, I think. That's a card that doesn't particularly matter in this matchup. Maybe I keep the Pilgrim and shave the last cartouche. I can see that. I want other cards more than I want Cartouche of Solidarity by kind of a lot. Knowing that Fling is part of their strategy, there's an argument to board in Standard Bearer. But I don't think that I necessarily need to. Again, I really appreciate everyone joining me this evening. There are plenty of ways you could choose to spend your Tuesday night on a cold December night like this, but I'm grateful that you chose to spend them with me. Chose to spend it with me, rather. Wow. This is pretty atrocious, not gonna lie. Gonna mulligan. This is better, but barely. Keep and put down Ledgewalker. This Grove is gonna name white, because I need it to name white. Alta Whispers, Star. New plan. Natural state is Stone Rain. Oh, that's so good. Cantrip here. Yeah, so this whole natural state of Stone Rain thing is actually old tech. It's actually less good now than it used to be because they have the ability to play some number of the new indestructible lands. Great. Trample lifelink? Yeah. Always yield to this trigger. 100% promise if they play literally any creature, I'm ram throwing it. It's not close. Black, yes. You got it. Blood Fountain, sure. Not a creature. Smash for 6 more. One mana Stone Rain gonna get there? One mana Stone Rain gonna get there. I love it. I like this and we'll keep this as is on the draw. One mana Stone Rain, less good. Yikes. Yes. Get rid of second idiot. Ah, opponent learned. Opponent played their indestructible land first this time, so they can't just get Stone Rained out of the game. Alright. I'm not interested in trading this off when Armadillo Cloak will grow it outside of trade range next turn. Yep. Well, if I'm not attacking... Beep beep. Also worth noting, the life gain here actually makes it harder for them to kill. Yeah, you got it. Opponent making sure they just auto-lock their targets. Mask or armor would be great here. Either one being perfectly reasonable. Swamp, sure. ATOG real good, not gonna lie to you. 2, 4, 6, 8. That's fine. I don't care about that at all. Well, that's the one we asked for. Beep beep.
Oh, you got to slow it down.
2, 4, 6, 8. I will attack you for 15. This ATOG is now an obligatory block, which is kind of hilarious. And it's about how much of their board state do they want to lose to this ATOG in the meantime? Yeah. The answer is not very much. I respect it. Draw cards, sack stuff, drain me for a little bit. Yup. Have you found an answer to Glade Cover Scout? Another deadly dispute, sure. Like, you can do a lot of stuff here, but I don't know what the long-term plan is. This is still a 15-11 with hexproof, trample, and gaining me life every turn. Yup, you get mana. Okay, you get a couple of mana. Take your Wellspring, sure. We're drawing more cards. Cool. Well, opponent spun their wheels a little bit and didn't really get anywhere, but I respect trying. Opponent thought they still had some kind of out, and in that position there's no reason to not play towards it and try to draw it. So, very reasonable. Puts us 2-2, going into round 5. I will say that that's something I always kind of liked about this format is games are reasonably quick. The format's usually aggressive enough at any given point, even if they're like pretty reasonable control decks in the format, that like I've not experienced a lot of the format where you're going to time. I respect the fact that opponent's avatar is balance. I'm gonna keep. I just keep drawing all my tap lands.
No one's been preaching for me to go this way. Stabilize, I'll show them everything
This one.
so take on what you know and run
You got it. I will not pay 2.
for tomorrow will not ever come until we
Terramorphic Expanse. Sure.
battle hands and wounded hearts are caving by the millions. Broken dreams.
Actual counterspell. You got it. Okay. Opponent has shown me Esper colors. What do I think about Esper color? Muldrifter. You got it. We're gonna draw 4 cards, I understand. No? Oh, we were hoping to draw Ephemerate and didn't. I understand now. That one good?
Grab your wings and ride that wind down through
Armor?
that smoky train covers ground, but only ground will
Brainstorm. Yep. This format is probably where Brainstorm is at its actual worst. Like, opponent is playing Terramorphic Expanse here, but the amount of reasonable shuffle effects to play in this format are pretty low. What do we got? You got it. Opponent wants to make a couple of 1/1s. One, two. Play Thriving Grove. We'll name white with that one too. Cloak. White, green, green. I will yield to this trigger for all of eternity. There's Evolving Wilds. Augur to Bolus, sure. Finds Brainstorm. Okay. I half expect that Brainstorm to get fired off immediately. Nope. Augur to Bolus again immediately, sure. Counterspell. You got it. Not a great turn to have that counterspell. Oh, that was actually gas. Make a 10-10. Opponent is done with me. Okay. So this is a matchup where I expect opponent to have edicts. They're going to draw a bunch of cards. They want the game to go long. I could potentially... Oh, opponent's probably on Stonehorn Dignitary. So I'm going to board in Flaring Pain. By that logic, I think Ram Through is pretty bad. I lied. Ram Through is actively good if I'm trying to beat Stonehorn Dignitary. I can cut a couple of cartouches. That seems totally reasonable. Sure. I could also board in Standard Bearer if I really want to hose their Ephemerates. I like this well enough. Okay. Already tree line. Augur is fine. They found the Ephemerate this time. Choose the right forest, please. Name green. Bogle. Rancor. Naming green with this one because I already have a second white through cave if I need it. Black? Correct. Deal? Ooh. Kill your thing? Not how I planned on using that ram through, but I definitely think it was reasonable. I don't want to trade my only body right now for an Augur Bolus. Sure. Mask? Block for 3? Evoked Mole Drifter. Yes. Oh, okay. Feels like an opponent didn't have a land drop there. I just want to try to get opponent dead here. Augur to Bolus, yes. What does Augur find? And is it Edict? Brainstorm, sure. Don't care about that one at all. Brainstorm now priced into finding Black Source plus Edict over the next couple of turns. I like my odds. Black Source acquired, I understand. Proceed to beep beep. Sick. Hey. Alright, well, that's a nice quick one. Kind of go back real quick, so... Good. Please? So this was the deck tonight. This feels much like the Bogles I remember. The newest cards are Ram Through, Cave of Temptation, Thriving Grove, and a couple Arctic Tree Lines. I understand why this card exists. I understand why this is a card you're playing in your deck. We were playing the Life Gain land before, and it was fine. Not great, but fine. This one is indestructible and counts as a forest for the purposes of Utopia Sprawl, which is pretty excellent. Cave of Temptation being a filter land that also puts counters in your stuff. Pretty good. Thriving Grove being able to name one of your off colors for sideboard cards. For example, there was another list I looked at that was playing Dispel, which is not, like, unheard of. That's super reasonable. Like, I get it. Everything else is pretty stock parts of the list. Stuff that's been, Armadillo Cloak, Ancestral Mask, Pilgrim. Like, stuff's been around forever. It's good. It will continue to be good. I wouldn't hate, like, another Ledgewalker. What do you cut for another Ledgewalker? I don't know. Maybe one of these Cartouche Solidaries, since we have Heliod's Pilgrim, we can tutor it if we need to. It also just serves as another body and has some form of evasion. The only situation there is it does bring our curve up just a touch. Could have boarded this in against my Ephemerate opponent. Didn't feel like I needed to. Is it possible I was supposed to? Sure. Couple mistakes. One, against the combo goblins player, I natural stated one of the indestructible artifact lands, not consciously thinking that it was indestructible. That's my bad. Half the time these cards come out and I read them once and I'm like, yep, okay, that doesn't matter. That matters. It being indestructible matters. Actually, this one is not indestructible. My apologies. It is the artifact lands from Modern Horizons. Ours is just a snowland, but that's fine. Yeah, the artifact lands being indestructible is not something that was consciously on my mind. Just pointed this natural state, thinking you just 1 mana Stone Rain Affinity. That's what you do. You do, when they're not playing indestructible lands. Also, opponent was not an affinity, so neat. I get Gutshot. Flaring Pain makes sense. Young Wolf, I get it. Sometimes you're just gonna have opponents where they try to remove every creature you have in play. You just slam the Young Wolves and you're like, okay, these are going to eat Rancors and we're going to go at this until you give up. It's pretty reasonable. Again, Standard Bearer has some uses. I don't know if this is a thing that you necessarily super need anymore. Maybe in the mirror. which I guess is reasonably common enough, so that's fine. Neat. I played this card when I played Bogles. I caught a lot of grief for it. I think lifelink is very good. Having another version of half of this effect that is a third the cost, pretty reasonable. I guess, what? A third the effect. No trample. No trample, no +2/+2. But just having another source of life gain, very, very good. Especially against other, like an aggressive metagame. 1 mana's the mana cost I want to pay for that. So, sweet. And finally, as is tradition around here now, we win a chest, we open a chest. So, we open a chest, 5 play points, a Worm Calling, which is not a card I think that I've ever seen. So that's cool. And then a Sage Eye Avengers. Rad. Cool. But alright everybody, that is going to be it for me for tonight. Nice quick one for everybody tonight. Just coming in about an hour and a half. So again, I will be back on Thursday playing some Cube and Hot Chip Challenge. Or One Chip Challenge. So One Chip Challenge Vintage Cube stream coming soon to a stream near you, i.e. this stream, on Thursday. So stay tuned for that. And then back for actual factual vintage on Saturday, probably playing Oath or Blue Tinker, because I like those decks a lot. So, again, thank you everyone for joining me tonight. I appreciate you spending your Tuesday evening with me. If you're not currently following the channel, and you like what you see here, go ahead and click the follow button. It costs you nothing, it helps me out, and it shows me that people out there like what they see, and I do keep track of when those follows come in. So if you are a Pauper fan and you follow during this stream, I will know that you're here for Pauper. I know a good portion of my crowd is here for Legacy and Vintage, but I know there are people out there who have been requesting other formats and other games, so make sure to hop in and give me feedback when you see that. Furthermore, if you liked what you saw here tonight and would like to see more of my content, you can find my YouTube down below. I post just about every every stream I do on that YouTube channel, and there is other content on my team YouTube channel, which is also in that Twitch description down below, that I do post once a week on, and that content is exclusive to the Team Swish YouTube channel. I don't stream that. You won't find VODs or videos on my channel or anything else anywhere. The content I post on the Team Swish channel is exclusive to Team Swish, so definitely check that out. But alright everybody, thanks for joining. You all have a great night. Cheers.